Welcome back to Low Country Spotlight. I'm your host, Margie Pizarro. We wrapped up our last segment with Mary Joseph. We have gone from the realms of her participation in State Farm and the fact that she's an entrepreneur. We've worked our way up to a lot of the services she gives back to the community, including her involvement with the Links Incorporated. So Mary, okay, we were talking about the buckets to Haiti. Talk to us again a little bit about that whole project. And I think you ended by saying that we delivered about 150 so?
Over 130 buckets to
Wow.
Mrs. Jean Rebecca for Stand for Haiti, all filled with beans and rice and soap and toothbrush and toothpastes and all kinds of different goodies for the people of Haiti, which is one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere.
And you know, I don't think that I began to pay a lot of attention to Haiti and the poverty and the low economic growth there until the earthquake. And it seems like there were so many people. I mean, I remember particularly Sean Penn and all these other celebrities that kind of jumped on board. But I'm sure Haiti had some problems before that massive earthquake.
Absolutely. And they continue to have problems. There are a lot of struggles, some of which we can address, some of which we can't. But the things that we can do, we did in terms of sending those buckets through the Stand for Haiti 5013C foundation, which is founded by Mr. Jean Rebecca, who is actually a resident here. So we have a safe passageway as far as him being able to go back and forth and make sure our gift gets to the people who need it most, and that's so important.
And you know, you say safe passageway, which seems so foreign because, you know, right now we're in the midst of the water crisis in Flint, Michigan. And I just heard something on the news like a couple sent like 70 cases of water to Flint, and they just, you know, put it on a plane and sent it, and there was no problem. And you actually need a safe passageway, quote unquote, to get things to Haiti. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. When you start talking about third world countries, and I have been blessed to do international mission trips for the last 16 years, but I have been to countries where you don't necessarily just breeze through customs. Sometimes it's not a comfortable process. Sometimes your luggage gets looked through. Sometimes things get taken. Sometimes your luggage doesn't make it. So it just depends on what day it is and who your customs agent is and what your border patrol officer is doing that particular day or what's the political climate at the time. So it is not a given. We have so many blessings being Americans that we have no idea what the rest of the world experiences.
And even to, you know, fill a bucket with items so common to us as beans and rice and toothpaste and shampoo and even sanitary products, which was some of the things I put in my bucket. It seems so given, you know, why would that even be an issue in 2016?
Because most of the world does not have that.
Yeah.
Most of the world does not have that, especially when you leave these borders.
And I think that's something that we need to know more about. Now, you've said you've been blessed to travel on missionary trips to some of these third world countries. Tell us somewhat about some of your other experiences.
Well, most recently, Nona Gilliard and I went to Jamaica on behalf of the Links Incorporated, and we did a 3.5-day mission trip. And we went to take care of some of the needs of the Hill children. So basically, everybody knows Jamaica is the island for lovers. And when you're close to the water and close to the ground, that's a very nice touristy area. But as you go up into the mountains, that's where the poverty continues to increase and where people have less and less. So for example, if our children here don't have books at home, they can go to the public library. In the hills of Jamaica, you can't go to the public library. You either go to school and hopefully they have books, or you don't have any books. So we were able to deliver books, we were able to deliver soccer balls, we were able to also go to the county hospital in Jamaica, which is where the people who have no money are able to go, but wherein our folks complain because they sit in a waiting room for 2 hours. In the county hospital in Jamaica, people sit in the waiting room for 3 to 5 days.
Wow. Just to be treated for an emergency illness.
Just to be asked, what's wrong with you?
Wow.
And so there are volunteers there who sing and pray with them for those 3 to 5 days while they wait and hope that they can get medical attention. We were able to take sanitary kits to Jamaica, which included toothbrush, toothpaste, soap, bath rags, things of that nature, because when we were asked, well, what should we bring to the county hospital? We were told many of the people who come to the hospital don't have those basic things at home. So just taking bottles of sanitizer meant so much. and we took them through the halls of the 500-bed hospital, which is overcrowded and definitely needs more space.
And you even think about, you preface sort of your conversation with Jamaica about the fact that, you know, Jamaica is a place for lovers and it's such a tourist attraction, but just right down the street in Jamaica, you have people that are living in a whole different set of dire circumstances.
Absolutely, absolutely. As is the case in most tourist areas when you go outside of this country, and some places inside the country.
Yeah.
Right down the street, and definitely just up the mountain or just up the hill. As you go further up, the poverty increases. One of the most pleasing things that we experienced is where we stayed, the attendants would ask, well, why are you here? What brings you here? And when I told the lady who was cleaning our hotel room why I was there, she said, oh, thank you.
Wow.
Thank you so much. And every day she would say, thank you so much for being here, because she could connect with the children who wouldn't have had the gifts we brought had we not brought them.
Wow, wow. And Nona's here, of course, and we're going to talk to Nona a little bit more about the Jamaica Project. Let's, you know, you said how, again, it's such a dichotomy from, you know, living in wealth and having a wonderful opportunity, you know, one side of Jamaica, then on the other side, you know, it's dire poverty. We have the same thing downtown Charleston.
Absolutely.
From South of Broad to Tent City.
Absolutely.
Talk to us a little bit about what you see in the community in terms of opportunities that we can all take to make things better.
Absolutely. There's always opportunities all around, and that's why, as members of the Links Incorporated, as well as other groups, we are committed to make sure that we do what we can do. So things like making sure that the Low Country Food Bank gets stocked and keeps food on the shelves, and the 180 Crisis Center has the support that we have. We also do things like helping with Women Build. That's one of the things that my agency helps sponsors, because most of the people who are the recipients of those homes, particularly in the James Island community, are single parent moms, women who look just like me. And they're struggling and trying to get their feet back on the ground and get their lives together and make sure that their children have a better opportunity in the future. So those are some of the things that we are upfront and have continued to be supportive of over the years, because we want to make a difference. And I've always had the prayer that I be a touchable example of what those who are coming behind me can see and say, if she did it, I can do it.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you in our last couple of seconds, a little bit about your inspiration behind doing this and the things that you do.
Years ago, decades ago now, when I first graduated college, I was a struggling social worker, and I worked with inner city, impoverished young ladies who were single moms. And what I found, most importantly, that they needed a lot more help than I could give them on my social worker salary.
Wow.
So I said a prayer to the God I serve, that if he would give me an opportunity to make money, I would do those kinds of things for free.
And we are
He has kept his promise.
Yes.
And I'm glad to say I kept mine.
Exactly. I was going to say, he's kept his and you've kept yours, which is so important. Thank you so much for being here with us on Low Country Spotlight. Don't go anywhere. We've got Nona Nurse Gilliard coming up, and she's going to give us some more information about the links in Jamaica.